Welcome to our video about the 13 Stoic lessons men often learn too late in life. But before we start, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been through pain, failure, or a difficult situation that made you realize how valuable it was? Even if they are hard, those times are valuable lessons that life gives us. Welcome to our discussion of 13 Stoic lessons that could have changed your life if you had learned them sooner. These lessons will help you become more strong and positive about life. Let's begin. Lesson number 1. Everything is temporary. The first thing that Stoicism teaches us about the tough journey of life is that everything is only temporary. This is true for both happy and successful times, as well as trials and hard times. Nothing lasts forever, and everything that happens, good or bad, will end. This shows how important it is to enjoy every moment and be thankful for all the good things in our lives. When things are going well, it's easy to be positive and happy, but Stoicism tells us that we should also get ready for the inevitable change that will happen. Being grateful means more than just enjoying what we have. It also means realizing that nothing lasts forever. Happiness should be savored and fully experienced, but we should be ready for any changes when life seems to be against us. Stoicism offers an unwavering inner peace. Instead of letting our feelings get the best of us, we are told to handle problems with logic and calm. From a Stoic point of view, problems are chances to practice and show the virtues of resilience and equanimity. Remember that every problem has a limit, and how we think about it can lessen the weight it carries. Also, even the best days will end, but in Stoic thought, this is not a reason to be sad, but a reminder to live a meaningful life, enjoying every moment and not letting outside events affect us. With a clear head and a strong heart, we can handle anything life throws at us, learn from it, and continue to grow with gratitude and steadfastness. Lesson number 2. You can choose to be happy. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said that happiness is not what you get. Gold, silver, and nice clothes. Stoics say that happiness is a state of the soul, and that it doesn't come from satisfying other people's wants or needs, or from being liked by others. In fact, they say that chasing physical pleasures without making changes to oneself often leads to despair and emptiness. A lot of the happiness we feel comes from how we choose to see and respond to the world around us, not from what it gives us. Stoicism teaches us that managing our feelings is the key to real happiness. This doesn't mean ignoring feelings or saving all the good things in life. It means being aware of and accepting them, which builds a strong base for inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said in his writings called Meditations that the happiness in your life rests on how you think about other people. Stoicism stresses how important it is to not let other people decide your happiness. Expecting other people to be your only source of happiness makes you vulnerable and dependent on them. To be truly happy, you need to know what you're worth and love and accept yourself. Stoicism also says that in this age of too much knowledge, stepping away from social media can be a big step towards staying calm and happy inside. These platforms often give us false hopes about relationships and happiness, which traps us in a never-ending circle of envy and comparison. Instead, Stoicism tells us to work on improving ourselves. Having healthy relationships and looking for happiness inside are both possible with self-reflection, self-awareness, and a dedication to ongoing personal growth. Epicurus, another Stoic philosopher, said that we should accept what we can't change and focus on what we can, especially our thoughts and actions. This is especially important if we want to be happy, because it helps us keep a positive attitude and solve problems quickly instead of wasting time worrying about things we can't change. According to the Stoic view, practicing gratitude is also an important part of being happy. By noticing and appreciating the good in life, even when things are hard, we can find more peace and joy. This helps us keep a positive and steady attitude through life's ups and downs. Finally, Stoicism teaches that happiness is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous process of self-development through introspection. Emotional regulation and conscious action. Happiness is a daily choice we make, not dependent on external circumstances, but the outcome of how we manage our inner selves and choose to live our lives. People often think of happiness as something that happens to us based on outside factors. Positive psychology study, on the other hand, shows that we have a lot of control over how happy we are. Realizing that we can choose to be happy gives us the tools to make our lives better and more satisfying. The main point is how to understand the power of choice. Talk about the idea that you can choose to be happy. We can't change everything about our lives, but we can choose how to react to things that happen. Share the idea that being happy isn't about ignoring bad feelings. It's about picking how to deal with them. The study of happiness. Look into study that says things inside of us, like our thoughts and habits, affect our happiness more than things outside of us, like our money or status. Talk about the idea of the hedonic treadmill, which says that people adjust to new situations and eventually reach a baseline amount of happiness. Getting in the mood to be positive. Students can learn to be grateful by keeping a gratitude book or thinking about what they're grateful for every day. Help your students stay in the present and enjoy the little things that make their lives good by teaching them mindfulness methods. Talk about how important it is to say nice things to yourself and change your bad thoughts into more positive ones. Getting stronger. Stress that failures are a normal part of life and can be used as chances to grow. As you talk about the role of resilience in staying happy, teach kids how to solve problems and deal with stress so they can handle problems well. Encourage students to have a growth attitude, which means they see mistakes as opportunities to learn instead of as signs that they are flawed. Building relationships with others. Stress how important it is to have strong social ties for your own happiness and health. Encourage your students to build strong bonds with family, friends, and people in their neighborhood. Talk about the good things that happen when people are kind and selfless, for both the giver and the receiver. For me, happiness is a trip, not a destination. I can change my thoughts, actions, and attitudes to make my journey better. Recognizing that happiness is a choice and making an effort to grow it in our lives can help us live more important and fulfilling lives, even when things go wrong. Things to do. Ask the kids to make a happiness action plan that lists specific things they can do each day to be happier. Have students share what they're grateful for as part of a practice in gratitude. Then, talk about how focusing on gratitude can make people happier. Assign a mindfulness meditation session and then lead a conversation about what was learned and how it might affect happiness. Lesson number 3. Take the risks that come with life. People think of taking risks as both a brave thing to do and an important part of living a full and worthwhile life. Stoicism doesn't encourage living a safe life without taking any risks, but it does encourage recognizing and facing risks. Something Seneca, a Stoic teacher, once said that things are hard not because we don't dare them, but because we do. Accepting risk in life means being open to uncertainty and realizing that nothing worthwhile can be gained without work and sometimes sacrifice. This is true whether you're trying to get together with someone you care about, changing jobs, or making any other big decision in your life. Taking risks takes guts and bravery. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said that a person's life is made up of their thoughts. This shows how important it is to change the way we think and approach life. taking risks isn't just a physical action, it's also a way to push our limits and find out what we're really capable of. Stoicism teaches us that even though we can't change every result, we can change how we respond to and think about the risks that are out there. Instead of being afraid of the unknown, we can see it as a chance to learn and get stronger. Another Stoic teacher said that people are upset not by events, but by the decisions they make when they are faced with risks. From this point of view, every struggle is an opportunity to learn and grow as a person. There are always going to be risks and unknowns in life, but when we face them and accept them, we not only learn how to live a fuller, more important life, but we also find our own inner strength. Lesson number 4. Life may be unfair. Life isn't fair. We can't deny this, and it's also one of the most important things that Stoicism tells us. Realizing that life isn't always fair isn't meant to make us sad, it's meant to make us stronger and more flexible. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." This means that even if things aren't fair, how we handle them is up to us. In life, we face challenges and problems that don't seem fair, and some people seem to start the race with unimaginable advantages. Some people face problems from birth, but Stoicism tells us not to focus on these unfair situations. Instead, we should work on getting better at dealing with them. Not by comparing ourselves to others, but by getting better. This is how we add value to our lives. An old proverb and a central idea of Stoicism both say that pain is the first step toward growth. Being comfortable all the time doesn't help you grow as a person. In fact, many of life's most important lessons are learned through pain and difficulty. That doesn't mean we should seek out pain, but we should also not avoid it when it comes. By facing and overcoming it, we become stronger and smarter. We need to take responsibility for our lives and make the changes that are needed. Stoicism doesn't tell us to sit around and complain about our lives. Instead, it tells us to recognize our strengths and use them to get through any problem. This takes patience. Perseverance and understanding that life isn't always fair are important parts of building inner power and getting past problems. Many people say that life is like a trip, with ups and downs, turns and twists. It's like being on a roller coaster. Sometimes you feel great, and other times you wonder why things aren't fair. One of the hardest things we have to learn in life is that it can be unfair. How we deal with life's unfairness, on the other hand, shapes our character and decides how strong we are. Let's go over this lesson again today and talk about how to handle life's unfairness with strength and kindness. Understanding life's unfairness. Life's unfairness can show up in many ways, such as when we face problems despite our best efforts or see wrong happen in the world around us. There are times when we think we're doing everything right, but still can't seem to get ahead, while other people seem to have no trouble at all. This fact can be discouraging and annoying, making us wonder if everything is really fair. Acceptance and resilience. It's normal to feel angry, sad, or resentful when life is unfair, but it's important to remember that focusing on these negative feelings only makes our pain last longer. Instead, accepting things as they are is a key part of becoming resilient. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing the truth of the situation and deciding how to act in a way that gives us power. Finding meaning in hard times. It's easy to give up and lose sight of our goals when we're going through hard times. But it's during these hard times that we can find our inner power and resilience. Problems can help us learn more about ourselves and grow by forcing us to rethink our values, goals, and responsibilities. By finding value in hard times, we can become smarter, stronger, and more caring people. Building empathy and compassion. Building empathy and compassion is one of the best ways to deal with the bad things that happen in life. When we learn that everyone has their own problems and struggles, we gain a better sense of how all people are connected. Kindness and care not only make other people feel better, but they also feed our own souls and help us deal with the uncertainties of life. Taking action and making change. We may not always be able to change the outside events of our lives, but we can choose how to react to them. We don't have to give up when we feel useless. Instead, we can use our energy to do something useful and push for change. We have the power to make a change in the world, no matter how small. We can stand up against injustice, help people in need, or support causes that are important to us. There's no doubt that life is unfair, but how we deal with it is what makes us unique. We can handle the difficulties of life with grace and strength if we accept what is, look for meaning in problems, develop empathy and kindness, and work for positive change. Remember that the goal is not to avoid life's unfairness, but to learn and grow from it. Let us face the problems we face in life head-on, knowing that every problem is a chance to grow and change.
Lesson number 5, the bad things about thinking too much. Stoics believe that overthinking is a way for the mind to lock itself up in useless speculation and worry that makes it harder to live a happy, meaningful life. As Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This shows how the mind can make its own suffering, often from small, unimportant things. When we let ourselves get caught in the vortex of overthinking, we stop noticing uncertainty. And Marcus Aurelius said that the most important thing is to focus on the present and the things we can change. Focus on what you are doing and ask yourself, is this essential? This helps us stop worrying about things that might never happen and stay in the moment. Stoicism also tells us to accept things as they are and not let our minds wander onto hypothetical and unfounded situations. Instead, it tells us to focus our attention and energy on doing something meaningful and positive. It tells us to start living right away and counting each day as a new life. To escape the trap of overthinking, Stoicism tells us to free ourselves by focusing on action living according to the values and principles we hold dear. This not only helps us escape unnecessary concerns, but also leads to a fuller and more meaningful life. We must remember that every moment is an opportunity to express ourselves through positive and meaningful actions, helping us move closer to living a happy and satisfying life from a Stoic viewpoint.
Lesson number 6, the meaning of living in the present. Focus on how to live well in the present moment that you have, as Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote. This is not just advice, but a specific guide on how to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. The power of presence cannot be overstated. When we let ourselves live fully in the present moment, unhampered by the past or worried about the future, we open the door to experiencing life in its deepest and most meaningful form, as Epictetus says. We still plan for the future and learn from the past, but we don't let thoughts and worries about the past take over our lives. Instead, we use those experiences to help us make better decisions in the present. Stoicism also stresses how important it is to find meaning in every day, because every day is a life. Seneca said that our daily goal is not just to live, but to live meaningfully. When we live with purpose, we not only find happiness and fulfillment in our daily lives, but we also make the world a better place. Finally, Stoicism teaches us that choosing to live in the present is something we have to do every day, every hour, and even every minute. By focusing on the present and acting with consciousness and purpose, we can free ourselves from the chains of the past and worry. Building the path to a better and happy life.
Lesson number 7, understanding your own mind. One important thing that this philosophy teaches us is that our minds can be both a strong ally and a dangerous enemy. Everything starts with our thoughts of happiness and sadness, success and failure. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. This shows how important the mind is in shaping our lives. The mind is more than just a place to think. It's also a place where we can train ourselves to keep getting better. To train the mind properly, you need to be patient, persistent, and self-aware. But once you do, the mind becomes an invaluable tool that helps us get through all problems and difficulties. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we see it. When we train our minds, we also learn not to give in to negative thinking and self-pity. Instead, we should work on building a strong spirit. Being self-disciplined and respecting ourselves means seeing ourselves as an example. This not only makes us more sure of our decisions, but it also inspires others. Life is a gift. Stoicism encourages us to see each day as a chance to learn and grow. Not only do we learn new things throughout our lives, but we also grow as people all the time. By using these lessons, we not only avoid regret, but we also get closer to living a happy, meaningful, and fulfilling life. Training and protecting the mind is not just a responsibility, but also a journey towards true freedom and happiness. In this way, we can turn our minds into our strongest allies, guiding us through every challenge and difficulty in life. It is essential to realize that in every situation, we have the choice of how to respond. This choice, as Zen said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters. By being aware and in control of all thoughts, we can transform every experience into valuable lessons, contributing to our personal development. A deep understanding of our own mind and learning how to control it effectively is the foundation of living a life pursuing wisdom and virtue, which the Stoics value highly. They believe that through self-control and continuous self-improvement, one can achieve a state of inner peace and true happiness. This requires a long-term commitment to self-education and personal growth, but the result is a life where we are the masters of our thoughts and actions, not slaves to them. Remember, each brings a new
opportunity for growth and improvement. Having a happy heart and a desire to learn from every experience helps us not only get through hard times, but also enjoy every moment of life. This means that the mind is not only a friend, but also an inspiration that helps us learn from every experience and make progress every day. Lesson number 8. Pursuing passion and choosing a career wisely. Stoicism says that following your passion and making smart career choices are important for living a meaningful and happy life. This philosophy tells us to live in harmony with nature and do what we love, because that's how we can make the most of our skills and contribute the most to society. Marcus Aurelius said that men were made for each other, so either teach or tolerate. This shows how important it is to find, and Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." This is true not only for how we deal with problems, but also for the choices we make about our careers. Picking the right job isn't just a choice to follow your passion. It's also a statement of independence, where we refuse to live our lives according to what other people want us to do, and instead choose our own path. Using the Stoic philosophy to choose a job also means accepting and adapting to the challenges that path brings. Instead of avoiding problems, we learn to face and get past them as part of our personal and professional growth. Finally, Stoicism reminds us that even though we can't control everything in our lives, we can always choose how to react and live them. Picking a career and following your passion isn't just a choice about a job. It's also a way of living a self-governed, meaningful, and true to yourself life. To make a smart career choice, you need to think about your interests, skills, values, and the real world of the job market. Here are some things you can do to follow your passion and make a smart job choice at the same time. Take some time to think about your skills, beliefs, and interests. What kinds of things do you like to do? What interests do you care deeply about? What do you do well and not so well? Knowing more about yourself will help you find job opportunities that match your interests. Look into your job options. Look into different fields that match your interests and skills. Find out what the job entails, what skills are needed, how much the job pays, and how the career can grow in each area. Talking to people who work in those areas could help you understand what the day-to-day work is like. Look at the market demand. It's great to follow your dreams, but you should also think about how many jobs are available in the area you want to go into. Look into fields that are expanding and need a lot of people. This will make it easier for you to get a stable job in the future. Get experience. Look for part-time jobs, internships, volunteer work, or independent work in the areas that interest you. This practical training will help you figure out if you like the job and give you the chance to learn useful skills. Continuing education. Depending on the job path you want, you may need to get more education or certifications. Find out what kind of education is needed for the job you want and think about whether you need to go to school for longer to reach your goals. Networking. Go to events in your field, join professional groups, and meet with people on professional networking sites like LinkedIn to get to know other professionals in your field. Networking can help you find jobs, teachers, and useful information. Financial considerations. Think about how your work choice will affect your finances, such as the amount of money you could make, how stable your job will be, and how much it will cost to go to school or train. Even though having a love for your job is important, you also need to make sure that it can pay well. Flexibility means being open to new possibilities and ready to change your career path if you need to. Over time, your goals and interests may shift. Being adaptable will help you find new opportunities that fit your new interests and priorities. Remember that it takes time to find the right job, and it's okay to try a few different paths before you find the right one. You can make a smart job choice that brings you happiness and success by combining your interests with careful thought about what the market wants and what is practical. Lesson number 9. Being able to fail makes you stronger. Life is full of failures. Men, in particular, need to learn this important lesson before it's too late, because we live in a society that values victory and success so much. The need to always achieve can make it hard to see what failure is really good for. Not only is failing a chance to learn, it's also a necessary step on the way to future success. Accepting failure takes guts and self-respect. The first step is to realize that each failure doesn't show how valuable you are as a person in general. Instead of judging yourself based on failures, look at yourself through the lens of success. Take it as helpful comments and a chance to get better. Having a positive view of failure can also help you become more resilient, which is an important skill for both personal and career growth. Being resilient helps you deal with problems, keep your eye on long-term goals, and not let short-term setbacks get you down. Also, talking about your failures with other people not only helps you deal with the feelings that come with them, but it also gets you support and understanding from those around you. This creates a safe space where people feel comfortable learning from each other and their mistakes. Finally, remember that every failure has a valuable lesson to teach you. You not only learn the skills and character traits you'll need to deal with problems in the future, but you also build a strong base for long-term happiness and success. Lesson number 10. The importance of building. How important it is to make and keep ties. Most of the time, men are taught that being strong and independent are the most important traits, but the truth is that we all need connection and support from others. Having and keeping good relationships not only brings happiness and support during hard times, but they also help us grow personally and spiritually. Men need to learn how to listen, share, and understand in order to build relationships. It takes work and dedication to keep relationships going. This means spending time and energy getting to know and caring about each other, as well as staying in touch and being involved in each other's lives. In today's busy world, this can be hard, but it's an important part of living a happy and fulfilling life. When it comes to different areas of life, building is very important, whether it's real infrastructure or abstract ideas. When talking about how important building is, here are a few things to keep in mind. Physical infrastructure. It is very important for society to make physical infrastructure like roads, bridges, buildings, and utilities. These buildings make it easier to get to important services, communicate, do business, and move around. They are essential to modern society because they allow for economic growth, social interaction, and general well-being. Community development. Creating public places like parks, recreation centers, and cultural centers helps people get along with each other and improves everyone's health. There are chances for people to meet, do things together, and make friends in these places, which makes society stronger. Making progress and coming up with new technologies, goods, and systems is what makes progress and innovation possible. Building innovative machinery, making cutting-edge software, or planning groundbreaking infrastructure projects is what drives technology progress and pushes the limits of what is possible. Personal growth. For personal growth and development, it's important to gain new skills, information, and expertise. People can improve their skills, follow their interests, and reach their goals by learning new things, gaining new competencies, and understanding different subjects. Environmental sustainability. If people want to lessen the damage they do to the world, they need to build in a way that is sustainable for the environment. Using green technologies, making buildings that use less energy, and putting in place infrastructure projects that are good for the environment all help lower carbon emissions, keep natural resources safe, and safeguard ecosystems. Cultural preservation. Building projects that aim to protect cultural heritage sites, historical landmarks, and traditional crafts help to protect cultural identity and history. These efforts make sure that people in the future will be able to respect and learn from the things that past civilizations did and left behind. Creating businesses, industries, and economic ecosystems is a good way to boost economic growth and wealth. Entrepreneurship, investment, and new ideas create jobs, wealth, and economic growth, which helps communities get out of poverty and makes life better for everyone. Resilience and preparedness. For preparedness and crisis mitigation, it is important to build infrastructure and systems that are resilient. Building strong buildings, setting up good emergency response systems, and coming up with complete risk management plans can help communities survive and recover from natural disasters, pandemics, and other crises. Building foreign partnerships, alliances, and networks makes it easier for people all over the world to connect and work together. Working together on diplomacy, trade and development makes it easier for people to meet and talk to each other across borders, learn about other cultures, and solve problems as a group. This helps solve global problems and advance shared goals. Empowerment and inclusion. Promoting social justice and equality requires making societies more open to everyone and giving power to groups that have been left out. By making infrastructure accessible, enforcing policies that include everyone, and encouraging diversity and inclusion, we can all fully join in society, reach our full potential, and help us move forward as a whole. Building isn't just putting up physical structures. It includes many different actions and projects that shape our world, move forward, and make life better for everyone. Building is essential for the progress and growth of people, societies, and civilizations. It's used to build bridges, encourage innovation, protect heritage, and give communities more power. Lesson number 11. Why financial independence is important. One important thing that every man needs to learn in order to have a safe future is how to be financially independent. Being financially independent not only gives you peace of mind, but it also lets you try new things and depends less on other people. Setting clear financial goals is the first step in handling your own money. A big part of becoming financially independent is learning how to make a budget, save money, and spend wisely. This not only improves your financial skills, but also protects you from economic uncertainty. Being financially independent means learning how to limit your spending and stay out of debt. Living a meaningful and frugal life helps you focus on what's important and resist the urge to careless buying. For independence and freedom, learning how to handle your money and invest in your future are very important. Once you master these skills, you can not only meet your own wants and goals, but also those of your family and the people in your community. Being financially independent gives you peace of mind, which lets you work on your own growth, help others, and follow your goals and dreams. Lesson number 12. Learning effective time management. Time management is a skill that you need in every part of your life, not just at work. Knowing how to divide up your time will help you be more productive and make sure you spend time on the most important things. To do this, you need to set clear goals. Putting things in order of importance and learning to say no to requests or activities that don't help you reach your goals. Learning how to manage your time also means finding a balance between work and life. Part of managing your time is realizing that you shouldn't spend all of your time working. Taking time for yourself, your family, and your personal interests is just as important as working. It helps you stay creative and motivated. Lesson number 13. The importance of mental health. Men aren't always taught about or encouraged to take care of their mental health, but it's an important part of living a happy, balanced life. Taking care of your mental health doesn't just mean getting help when you need it. It also means making and sticking to daily habits like meditation, exercise, and resting and recharging. An important part of mental health care is learning to notice and control your emotions. This means letting your emotions happen without judging them and getting help when you feel too overwhelmed. In conclusion, these 13 lessons are important for every man to learn before it's too late. They range from how to see failure as a way to get better to how to understand how important money is. Independence, good time management, and taking care of your mental health. Each lesson lays the groundwork for a healthy and satisfying life. They teach people how to improve themselves, be more resilient, and connect more deeply with others and themselves. I hope these ideas were helpful to you. If they were, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Engaging with our content not only helps the channel, but also helps us bring you more insightful content. Remember that the path to personal growth and self-improvement is a continuous one, and we're here to support you every